Hi, it's Sarah from South Fayette Township Library, and this week I'd like to recommend The Dutch House by Ann Patchett. The Dutch House is Ann Patchett's latest novel. It's a work of fiction, it's a New York Times bestseller, and it was a finalist for the Pulitzer Prize. In some stories, the setting is so crucial to the story that it's like its character. And that's definitely the case with the Dutch house in this story, because the Dutch house exerts a lot of influence over the people who live in it, and it symbolizes something different to each character. The Dutch house was built in 1922 by the Van Hubeek family, who made their money in tobacco. It's in Elkins Park in eastern Pennsylvania. It's a mansion with 6 bedrooms and a ballroom on the 3rd floor, and it has a beautiful garden, lots of ornamentation, things that were sent over from Europe. When the last of the Van Hubeeks passes away, a man named Cyril Conroy purchases the house from the bank with all of its contents included. He buys it as a surprise for his wife Elna and their little girl Maeve. And boy, is Elna surprised. To Cyril, the Dutch house represents his rise from poverty to wealth. For Elna, the Dutch house is impossible for her to live in. She doesn't want to have a cook or a maid. She doesn't know what to do with herself with all these people waiting on her. So it does not symbolize anything positive for her. While the Conroys are living in the Dutch house, they have a little boy, Danny. So now they have 2 kids, Maeve and Danny. And for Maeve and Danny, they love the Dutch house, and it represents their childhood and happiness. But this Dutch house is the undoing of everyone that Cyril loves. One of the main themes in this book is the past and letting go of the past and moving on from the past. The book is narrated by Danny, and there's one part in the book where he's talking to Maeve, and he says, "Can we ever really look at the past the way that it was? Because we're looking at it through who we are today and what we know now. And that would alter the past. We wouldn't be seeing it as it was." When Maeve and Danny are still fairly young, the Dutch house comes to symbolize everything that they've lost in their lives. I think that you'll really like this book. It's a character-driven novel. Some people have said that there's not a lot of action. Well, this is a family saga that takes place over the course of 5 decades. And I loved it, especially on audio, because Tom Hanks reads the book to us. He more than reads the book, he acts the book, and he makes the story so engaging, really come to life. The picture that is on the cover of the book, I think that's very interesting because Ann Patchett had a painter make this. It is from the book. At one point, when Maeve is a little girl, before Danny's born, Cyril commissions a painter to come for 2 weeks to paint Elna's portrait. But Elna doesn't want her portrait up on the wall with the Van Hubeek's portraits. So at the last minute, Maeve sits for the painter. And a real painter made this portrait of the fictional character Maeve, and This painting is in Ann Patchett's house today. Check out the Dutch house. I really think you're going to like it. Let me know what you think. Have a great week and stay well.